How's everybody doing today? Today we're looking at a Swedish 24-hour field ration made by Out Meals. And before I get into this ration, I would like to first start off by saying thank you. Thank you to all the subscribers that have been watching the channel, subscribing, liking, commenting, participating. At the time of this filming, we have just crossed 2,000 subscribers. What a milestone. I'm amazed that this channel has come this far in short amount of time, and it's all possible because of you, the viewers. So I would like to convey a personal thanks to everyone for accepting me into this community, liking my videos, commenting. But any further ado, we're going to look at this, and I will be giving this exact ration away. I was going through my stockpile and I noticed I have 2 of these, so what a great opportunity to give back to the community that has accepted me. So this is a massive 24-hour wet ration produced by Out Meals, menu number 3, 4,600 kcals. This ration was produced on May 6th, 2023, and has a best before October 2nd, 2026. So we are still super fresh for a ration that I'm concerned. But look at this. This is actually insane. We got granola mix for our breakfast. We have chicken masaman with potato as our dinner. We have a chili sin carne, chili sin carne, which is supper, and then Alfredo noodles. This is absolutely bonkers what it comes with. I'm not going to read all this because we're going to do the unbagging and we're going to see what we have in here. But let's just look at the weight. This comes in at 1,669 grams, which is almost 1.7 kilos of food. Massive 4,621 kcals. We have 176 grams of fat, 565 grams of carbohydrate, 55 grams of fiber. That's insane. And what's even more insane is the protein content. We have 166 grams of protein. That is absolutely ridiculous. Look at this cool bag that it comes in. There's all messages all over this bag. Don't litter the land you're protecting. That's cool. All these different messages for soldiers. We have a tape measure on the bag right here. I mean, every time I look at this bag, I find something cool that's unique. But enough about that. Let's open this up. We got a nice carrying handle right here. The bag has a Ziploc seal on it so you could reuse it. And we have a tear notch built right into the bag. Look at that. That thing went with no issue. So let's pop this puppy open and let's see what we got. So we have a resealable poly bag. Wow. Look at this thing. This thing's like a shovel. It's like an entrenching tool. Look at that. That thing is absolutely bonkers. I mean, look at that. That is ridiculous. And wow. That's the only thing I can say is wow. That thing's insane. All right, so here is our chili sin carne with kidney beans. This is a 430 gram main. This has, wow, there's a lot of information on this. And it's in so many different languages. I'm going to sit here and read this thing for 5 minutes. So we're just going to pass on that. Actually, let's just get the caloric breakdown here real quick. The 3 things. We have, yeah, that's not going to be easy. There's so much information on this. Oh well. Chili sin carne with beans. Then we have our main chicken massaman with potato, 400 grams. Wow. These are going to be a lot of things to put out here. We have a Food Force. I think this is nuts. Looks like a packet of nuts. We have a whey powder, strawberry milkshake. 70% whey, made in Sweden. And yeah, 35 grams. We have an Orfo isotonic drink powder, apple flavor. This is 20 grams. This mixes in 250 milliliters of water. Then we have another isotonic drink. I have to put the drinks, over there. This is 50 grams, and this gets mixed in. This is the tropical. And this goes into 500 milliliters of water. We have fruit cubes, 45 grams. I think this is a dehydrated fruit. Oh, look at this. We have Alfredo noodles, which are dehydrated, 95 grams. Got a gusseted bottom on the bottom. Gives you instructions on how to rehydrate the main. Then we have a granola mix by Ration Tech. These are made by Outdoor Meals. This is also Ration Tech, Orfo, Ration Tech Food Force. 150 grams of granola mix. That is a lot of granola, 150 grams. And we have another granola fruit snack mix. And this is 45 grams. Chocolate chip biscuits by Ration Tech. This is, I don't see a weight on this, 50 grams. And we have another Orfo cheese biscuits, 50 grams. And we have a apple pie energy bar, 55 gram, manufactured by Out Meals. Wow. Then we have a salty caramel energy bar, 55 grams. But wait, there's more. Another Out Meals banana split protein bar, 55 grams. All right, and then we have a bunch of little tiny items. I'm going to place that right there. We got a pack of Oops Classic Sensitive wipes, tissues, and they have anti-allergic. So these possibly are treated with maybe a lotion so you don't get chafing on your nose. If you have a runny nose in the winter, you know how you get that runny nose and your nose gets raw. That's pretty unique. Then we have a fruit stang. It's a fruit bar, but it's fruit stang. And this is 20 grams. Then we have 1, 2, 3 disinfectant wipes. We have 1, 2, 3 coffee sticks made by Out Meals, and they don't have a weight on them. 10 grams. And they sound good. So we have 3 10-gram sticks of coffee. Then we have another Orfo 25-gram chocolate bar. And let's see if there's a percentage on the cocoa. No, I don't see anything. But I guarantee it's going to be good. They're not messing around, the Swedish. And then we have another, looks like a chocolate mint paste. Pretty soft. Yeah, and this is 18 grams. Wow. 3 toothpicks. 3 toothpicks, and then looks like we have 3 enriched Zincu sweet mint gum, and there's 2 pieces of gum in each package. Holy cow. This is some spread. And someone is going to win this exact spread. And this is bonkers. I'm looking at all this food, and man, I'm not a heavy eater. This is going to be something to get through. So let me tray this up. I'm going to organize it according to how the menu lists each meal: breakfast, supper, and dinner. Supper and dinner are different terms in other countries. So we think of supper as dinner, but supper is like a light meal, and then dinner is, actually no, supper is the larger meal, midday meal, and then dinner is more like a light evening meal. But let's break this down into a meal. I'll tray it up, I'll start getting everything warm, and then we'll dive right into this. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. And this is looking like a pretty great breakfast. We have our strawberry whey powder milkshake. We have our fruit cubes. I believe this is nut mix. We have some type of fruit bar. We have our coffee. And we have our granola mix. So let's start off with the coffee. They don't give you any sugar or creamer. And there's not much of it. I'm glad I grabbed the small cup. And we're going to make a very small cup of coffee. Yeah, it looks like a pretty high quality freeze dried. Had some really big chunks, granules. Let's get into this because this is going to take the longest to rehydrate. Now this says to use cold water and add as much liquid to your desired consistency. So got a decent gusseted bottom. So let's actually get our spork ready. And let's get our water in there. And we're going to use cold water. I normally like it warm, but the Europeans usually use a higher quality oat, and it's meant to be hydrated cold. So we're going to start off with that much. And we'll mix it up to get into the corners. And I think I might have already put a little too much. But either way. Mix that up. Yeah, looks like I might have already put too much. Oh, man. All right, we're going to zip that bag up. And then we're going to get into the rest of our food here. Let's see what we have here. And this is nuts. Yep. Pretty good looking peanuts, I must say. Very tasty. Our fruit cubes. Wow. Look at that. I mean, look at the colors on that. That is something else. I bet you that would have went great in there. And the smell that came off it, I just got hit with like fruit smells. Wow. Yep. I think that has to go in there. What a fantastic snack. And look at that. Well, let's open everything up since we're doing it. This is our fruit bar. Okay. I think I've seen this before in another ration. That's fantastic. And the smell, yep, smells like blueberries and figs. I had this in the last ration I reviewed, the British ORP box menu. Give that a shake. Now this strawberry whey powder milkshake does not give any liquid requirements. It doesn't say how much liquid to start with. It just tells you what it is. Whey powder, emulsified sunflower, milk powder, and then red color that's natural. They must use some type of root to make it natural, because I know they don't like dyes and food coloring in their food, which is great. So and there is actually a tear notch on this. This is the only thing other than this that actually had a tear notch. So we're gonna start off conservatively here. Wow, and that does smell good. That smells like a strawberry shortcake. Okay, and I'm going to use warm water just to help this kind of emulsify. And we're going to start off with that much. I don't want to overdo it. Wow, this stuff is thick, but it's definitely rehydrating nicely. I got to get one of those whiskers, little electric whiskers that you see Waffles that has it all the time. That thing is pretty awesome. All right, looks like we got everything. Some few clumps down there, but I think we got the liquid amount right on the money. Yeah, I don't see any more clumps in the bottom. I think the warm water is the way to go with this. That is looking very, very gourmet. All right, let's give that a try. That could use slightly more water. Very sweet. Has a really good milk flavor. Strawberries and cream. There you go. That's what it tastes like. Like strawberry shortcake, strawberries and cream. I'm wondering if I would have dumped that in here with the fruit and just kind of combined everything, that would have been bananas. All right, here we go. Put off this to the side here. Let's see what this coffee is looking like. I'm wondering if this coffee possibly turned, because I've never seen coffee actually not rehydrate. And it's actually like mud on the side of the glass. Oh, and now I'm making a mess. This thing is unwieldy how big it is. Look at this, making a mess here. All right, let's give the coffee a try. Very strong, very deceiving for how much is in that package and how much water you put in that. That is some good coffee, I must say. All right, let's see how this is doing. All right, not as watery as I thought. It's thickening up nicely. Yeah, I think putting that strawberry whey powder into this and then adding the fruit into it, that would have been killer. All right. Let's get this out on the tray. It's probably going to be way too much liquid. Wow, that is a massive portion. Yep, and we got all of it. 150 grams without the liquid. We got vegetable fats and oils, primarily from palm, golden syrup, brown sugar, salt, oat flour, white sugar, maltodextrin, soy creamer, vegetable fat, palm fruit, antioxidant, soy protein, stabilizers, anti-caking agent, and then thickener. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. And the way they have this listed is per 100 grams, it's 1,714 energy joules per 100 grams. Fat, 14.7. Saturated is 5.5. Carbs are 59. But mind you, these are per 100. Oh, they actually have it per 150 grams. So energy is 2,500 joules. 615 kcals, 21 grams of fat, 8.3 grams of saturated, 88.5 carbohydrates, sugar 24.8, fiber 15.6, protein 13.2, salt 0.5. Great. All right, wow, this is huge, but somehow I feel this spoon can handle it. Let's get in for our first bite. This is really good. The liquid portion of this oatmeal has a very similar taste to American oatmeal. If you ever had the oatmeal in the little packet, the original, that's what this tastes like. It's not overly sweet, which the American is. This is toned down in the sweetness. But where you notice the quality is in the oats. They're a whole oat. They're not cut or smashed or processed. They do take a little chewing to get through. They're not hard by any means. They soften up pretty decent. But again, they're not cooked or boiled, so they're not mushy. They're firm. I would like to have seen some fruit in this. Maybe this is what this is for. Let's try a little piece of fruit in there. Yeah, that fruit really rounds this out nicely. I think that's what they intended. I think this was supposed to get put into that and enjoyed. But this is fantastic. In my preference, I mean, cold is fine, but if you're in the field, it's cold, I think you would want to use warm water for this, just so you have something hot inside you. And this spork is ridiculous. It's literally like a face shovel. All right, this is going to take me a while to get through, so I'm not going to eat all of it on camera because I'll be here for a half an hour. But I definitely will finish this because this is really high quality. All right, let's have some of our coffee. I think it could be stretched a little further, but If you're in the field and you just want to have a quick hot cup of coffee, maybe 4 or 5 ounces is perfect. Yeah, and it's not bitter whatsoever. Everything has rehydrated perfectly. There's nothing sitting on the bottom. That's really good coffee. The nuts. Seems like a roasted peanut. They're salted, which is kind of odd because in Arctic environments, you really want to limit salt intake because it dehydrates you. And you're losing so much more liquid in Arctic field environments. Good peanut. They're not overly roasted. They still have a good chew to them. You can definitely tell they're not dry roasted because they do have some moisture to them. The salting is nice. It's like a very, very fine powdered salt. There's still some little bits of the shell, not the shell, the skin, still on them. So it does add to the taste. Really good peanuts. And the salting really does add to the flavor. Sometimes, just having that little bit of salt really makes a difference on the flavor of food. This strawberry and cream milkshake is really something. I've never had anything like this, and it's such a refreshing pace of seeing something different other than your average isotonic or, fruit punch and tropical. These are absolutely great to have in a ration. And the flavors is on the spot. Strawberries and cream. There's no aftertaste. There's no gritty, milky grit in your mouth from the powder. Definitely a high quality drink. That is really nice. All right, the fruit. Let's see what we got here. Not sure if there are different types of fruit in this. That wasn't pineapple, maybe papaya. Some type of tropical light colored fruit. I'm not sure if this is like reconstituted. It's not. Yeah, these are like a gummy that break down really quick. They're not actual fruit squares. They're a combination of the fruit, possibly made into a paste or a gel, and then probably laid out on some type of container and then cut up into little squares and then dried so they are a little more firmer. But they're good. Every one is flavorful. They really are. They all are unique in their own right. None of them are better than the other. They all are packed with flavor. These are really interesting. I never had anything like that. Now I remember this from the British ORP I just did. This is a fig and blueberry bar. Really good. Nice chew. Great fiber. Great blueberry flavor. It's like the inside of a fig Newton. As soon as you bite it and it kind of starts breaking down in your mouth, you get all the flavors coming out from it. All right. Well, to keep this video moving along, because we got 4 meals. When I laid out all the meals, I thought it was going to be breakfast, lunch, supper, dinner. It is actually that. They don't substitute supper and dinner together. They actually give you enough for 4 separate meals. Breakfast, lunch, supper, and dinner. And I was kind of overwhelmed with how much food there is. So I'm going to finish this off camera. Everything was fantastic. The fig and blueberry fruit bar, great quality, great flavor. These are absolutely bonkers. These are so flavorful and so good. Kind of wishing I threw them in here with hot water with the strawberry whey milk protein shake. Peanuts, great. The coffee, perfect. I used about 4 ounces to make a very strong cup, and it was spot on. No bitterness, no harsh aftertaste, but a very, very bold and strong coffee that is smooth. And this spoon, this thing's insane. I can't believe how big this thing is. But I'm going to finish this off. Probably will take me an hour to finish this and polish everything off. And then we'll be back for lunch in about 3-4 hours. Stand by. Well, here we are for lunch. And for lunch, we're going to have our chicken massaman potato. We're going to have some granola fruit mix snack, an apple pie energy bar, a chocolate chip biscuit, and our isotonic drink. So, without further ado, let's get this open. And this is an apple flavored, apple flavored isotonic. All right, and we got half of it on our tray. And give that a little mixing. It apparently looks like it's real sugar. There is a lot of liquid in there. And it is dissolving nicely. All right, let's look at our apple energy bar. That is smelling absolutely lovely. We're going to skip the nutritional facts on that because it's pretty hard to read on this small label. And that is looking really good. I did take the liberty of placing it over the water for a couple minutes just to soften it up, and it is looking really good. Our granola fruit snack mix. Wow, again, with those little bits of fruit, that is something. We got banana chips, we have some granola. I don't know how they expect you to eat this. I guess you're just supposed to shove it down your mouth with the pouch. Got some banana chips, raisins. Our chocolate chip cookie. These Ration Tech packages are quite hard to open. And wow, look at that cookie. That is it's actually two. I thought it was one solid big cookie. But it is actually two really good looking cookies. And wow, they smell actually pretty good. I can't resist taking a bite from one. That is a good cookie. All right, and the star of the show. The chicken massaman potato. And wow, look at that. That is something else. Wow, the flavor that's coming off that. Let's hold that flap and let's get this out. That is a serious main. Wow, and it just won't stop. It just keeps coming. Look at that portion. That is a 400-gram main. Wow. We got all of it. That is pretty serious. Ingredients are chicken, coconut, milk, sunflower seed oil, sugar, white bean, massaman curry paste, lemongrass, shallot, garlic, chili, cumin, coriander, nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, pepper, salt, green peas, salt, modifying cornstarch, thickeners, curry powder, mustard powder, white pepper, black pepper, paprika powder, cumin powder, and cinnamon and spices. Look at that. It's practically overflowing. Wow, this is going to be something. Let's try our apple pie energy bar. Look how soft that is. That looks like the crust of an apple pie, and it smells like the center of an apple pie. Wow, that is absolutely insane. That tastes exactly like I'm eating an apple pie. I do get the texture from the oats, but that are pressed in on the bottom. Actually, that looks like that is like shaved almonds or some type of nut mixed with the oats, and there's very few oats. It's more, looks like nuts. That is absolutely divine. That is absolutely fantastic. It's not too chewy. It's almost like the apple pie filling. That is really good. Let's try the apple isotonic. This has like an apple cider finish. I'm not really tasting the minerals or the vitamins. This is really interesting. This is really good. I like that. All right, let's see what we got here going on with these. So we've got some, looks like formed fruit. We got raisins, banana chips. We have some granola. There's not a lot. That's a nice little snack. I like that. And I think what's useful is just doing it like this. I'm going to leave some fruit for the other bites. All together, they all complement each other. The granola has a nice crunch to it. The banana chips, nice texture. The fruit really makes everything pop. Then we got the raisins. This is really nice. I like this. We got our disinfectant white, our toothpick, and our Zen-Q enriched chewing gum. Sweet mint. I'm going to save that for last. The cookie is really good. It's a very dense cookie. It's not crumbly. It's very thick, very beefy, very hefty cookie. Chocolate chip flavor. All right, let's get to this. Wow, look at the chunks of chicken in this. Very substantial pieces of meat in this. Very high quality. Look at the potatoes. Just wall-to-wall potatoes. Let's give that a try. Wow. The flavor of the coconut and the curry, it has like a kind of like a little like sneak up on you heat. That's really good. This is way better than the British ration I had in my last review that had the chicken massaman potato. And granted, that was almost 14 years old. This is literally fresh. This hasn't even come close to expiring yet. I'm telling you, whoever's going to win this menu, this is the ticket meal right here. This is so good. I was thinking about bringing a little Tabasco or chili powder, but you don't want to add any kind of heat to this because it is very complex. We have coconut milk, we have curry. You saw the list of ingredients that I read off on this. This is already super complex. Any kind of heat is going to throw off how everything is supposed to be. This is a home run right here. I would look for this meal again just for this main. That's how good this is. This meal goes so good with this spoon because you can actually get a real substantial serving. It's not dripping. This is perfect. I'm really digging this spoon. It's not too wide that it's cutting the side of your mouth. It's not sharp at all. This is a serious eating utensil. This is extremely filling. But this is gourmet. If this isn't gourmet field eating, I don't know what is. But this is absolutely fantastic, this menu. Look at that chicken. How it breaks up. Look at that. Look how white that is. so tender, and it's picking up all the flavors from the coconut milk, the curry sauce, and it's got a very mild, tangy, not like heat, but it is a curry, so there's going to be some spice there. And the heat kind of creeps up on you. The more you eat, the more the oils, I guess, start coating your mouth. Slowly kind of gets a little hotter, a little hotter, a little hotter. I am actually really full right now, and I don't think I can finish this, but I can't stop eating it. Okay, so let's recap. Chocolate chip cookies. I mean, they're cookies, but they're good. They're not cheap quality, no aftertaste. The granola, raisins, bananas, and fruit mix, by themselves, they're pretty good. But once you get a taste of all of these together in your mouth, that is a treat. Definitely an amazing, refreshing, unique pocket snack. This apple pie granola bar or energy bar, this tastes like candy. This doesn't even taste like something healthy. Definitely going to finish that. This was absolutely ridiculous. I never had chicken massaman potato other than the British ration I just reviewed, and this was 100 times better than that one, and that one was fabulous. So if this is the way you're eating in the field, bravo. This is like gourmet field chow right here. Let's check out the antibacterial wipe. Wow. Got hit with an overwhelming alcohol smell, but there is also like a fragrance in this. But yeah, it is a disinfecting wipe. Very wet. Not too large, but I mean, I've seen smaller. Yeah. So, the gum, I think I'm going to save this and we'll review it on the next meal because I still want to finish this. But let's take a look at how it looks, because I will be finishing this shortly, and let's just get a view. Okay, we got two nice little pieces of chiclets of gum. What looks appear to have a candy shell to it. Got the typical mint smell. And let's take a look at the toothpick. Alright, looks like a standard toothpick. Pretty firm. We'll save that for after dinner. And the apple isotonic drink. It almost tastes like a cross between a very light lime isotonic, but with a apple cider finish. That's really unique. Okay, I'm going to finish this off probably for like the next hour, and then I'm going to take a couple hour break, and then we'll go to our next meal. So stand by. All right, we're back. This is dinner, and while it looks like it's light, don't let visuals deceive you. The one impression I am getting from these meals is that they are ultra high quality, large portions, and packed with calories. While we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 items, we're looking at almost 1,477 calories, not including the gum and the coffee. So my impressions on breakfast and lunch, I was blown away. I really was blown away at the quality of the food, the flavor, the taste, and little research on looking up these Swedish meals. These are not budget produced government contract meals. These are ultra high quality, like expedition quality food. Like if you were to take a expedition to a mountain or a glacier or like Everest, if you can kind of visualize this is what I can see you eating, because they're ultra high quality, they're packed with nutrients, minimal fillers, preservatives. I mean, I am really blown away. I have not done many of these Swedish dry and wet ration reviews, even though I have a really healthy stockpile of these menus. I'm blown away. And I'm telling you, I'm struggling to get through these meals because 2-3 hours later, and I am still full. I have no desire to eat, and I'm pushing through to get through these menus to get this filming done. I mean, this is ridiculous. That's the only way I could put it, that these are not MREs. This is like expedition quality gourmet food. So whoever is going to win this Swedish wet ration menu number 3, I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away by this food. Just, I ask you to do one thing. Don't pick through the menu. Set it up as a meal. Experience it as a meal. Break it down into breakfast, lunch, dinner, and we still got one more meal after this, supper. The way they break these meals down is breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper. And I was kind of thinking about combining dinner and supper together, and absolutely no way I was going to be able to eat it all. I'm telling you, I'm a light eater. This is way too much food for me. Let's get our first item down. We have chili sin carne with kidney beans by Outdoor Meals. This is the 430 gram main. So the ingredients: red beans 30%, water, tomato puree, vegetables 12%, carrot, onion, corn, red pepper, textured whey proteins, wheat gluten, calcium sulfate. We have some oils, green jalapeno, flavorings, contain celery, salt, thickener, gargum, modified starch, dextrose, curry, contains mustard, garlic, paprika extract, and may contain traces of milk and eggs and soy. And there were like 3 ingredients here which were preservatives I wasn't able to pronounce. So seriously, that's it. There's not a insane list of preservatives. This is lactose free, and this is also vegan. This is ridiculous. And this has an expiration date of 2028. So, yep. Let's cut this open. Let's plate it up. Give it time to cool. Wow. That smells absolutely amazing. And look at that. Look at the size of that. I can tell you right now, we're not finished this thing on camera, because the last meal had me sweating, and we still had a third of it left. So whoever's going to win this giveaway, you're going to be blown away. I'm telling you right now. And you don't have to be into rations to enjoy food like this. If you're an avid outdoor hiker, you spend time camping, do yourself a favor. Pick up one of these meals. You will be blown away by the quality. I'm telling you, you will. And you won't eat Mountain House anymore if that's kind of like your go-to meal for camping. These things are ridiculous. You can buy outdoor heaters like the FRHs online. This is our chocolate bar. It is 25 grams. And if I'm not mistaken, 43% of this is dark chocolate. So the Europeans take their chocolate seriously. It's not milk chocolate. It doesn't have fillers in it. It's ridiculous. We have our banana split protein bar, 55 grams. And this is a powerhouse. This is actually 222 calories. These bars are ridiculous. The last one I had, which was, oh man, I did a little bit of a mistake here. I kind of put it over the steam to let it kind of soften up, and I wasn't aware that that had chocolate in it. All right, well, we're going to deal with that. We have a tropical isotonic energy drink, 50 grams, made by Ration Tech. And when you see European drinks mix clumped up like this, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. The Europeans have a much stricter law on what they're allowed to put in their food. So there's no like clumping agents in this, things that will keep it from clumping. So don't worry about that. That's how things kind of go in Europe. They don't put fillers. They put minimal dyes. Anti-caking agents. That's the word I was looking for. They don't put anti-caking agents in their drinks mixes. So they cake up. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually use just a little warm water to help it. And then we're going to coffee. This is also made by Oatmeals. And this coffee is very deceiving. It's like a concentrated espresso. Yeah, we're going to do like 6 ounces. And we're going to let that sit. And then let's mix this up. Yeah, this is already completely dissolved. That warm water was a trick. And then we're going to finish it off. Researching this meal, the Swedish, Danish, the Nordic countries, they have a completely different doctrine when it comes to their food for their soldiers. They know that their soldiers are operating in extreme environments for extended period of time, and they're not messing around. Their food dictates that they operate in Arctic climates. They're exerting themselves because they're mostly like mountainous terrain. So you are exerting yourself. And their food doctrine actually supports the operation. High quality, comfort food. Let's dive into this. We got our drink mixes made up. The coffee looks absolutely ridiculous how dark it is. And this spoon, I thought it was going to be kind of obnoxious to use. I love it. I think I just found my favorite spoon. I actually like this spoon so much that I actually started looking on like camping store websites, the titanium version of this, because they look obnoxiously large and long, but I'm telling you, when you start eating things out of a pouch, these things are a home run. They really are. This is definitely going to go into my rotation of using a lot more. I'm just kind of sad that I only have one. Alright, so, and the gum, I didn't show the gum on the last video. This gum is ridiculous. I literally was chewing this for like 2 hours, and it still had a great bounce back to it when you're chewing it. Of course, it lost its flavor, but it wasn't flavorless, if that makes sense. Alright, enough about me blabbing. Let's look what we got here. So we got really vibrant red kidney beans. We've got some great looking corn that looks like it has some great texture to it. I see red pepper. I see some nice oils. This is really, really looking like a great meal. I see some carrots. I don't see celery. I did see celery in the ingredients, but I didn't see it. I got the oils already spilling over. All right, let's get our first impression. We got a little bit of everything on this spoon. Great flavor. Every single piece of vegetable I had, corn, carrot, green pepper, red pepper, onion, had great texture to it. Every one was distinct. You could taste the flavor. The peppers and the corn were sweet. They were cooked properly. The beans had great texture to it. They were firm. They weren't mushy at all. Great texture on the beans. When you bite into it, you could feel it release the starch. This is a home run right here. This is an absolute home run. I can see someone on a side of a mountain in a blizzard in their sleeping bag eating this with a smile on their face. It's literally overflowing the tray. I mean, I don't know if you could see that. I'm like fighting to keep it in. This is the first time I ever had the chili sin carne with kidney beans. That is absolutely a fantastic menu. And talk about filling. 3 bites in. Oh, 3 bites in, and I'm already starting to feel the little pushback from the stomach saying, all right, slow down, champ. So many different flavor profiles going on here. Perfectly heated. Oh, and I forgot. I brought down Tabasco just in case this was going to be a little bland. No chance in that. But let's give it a little try with just a touch of Tabasco. Wow. That really opens up the flavor profile for the beans. The sauce. The sauce is like a tomato soy filler. But I'm telling you, you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell if you were eating this. Because I can. You could definitely tell it's not meat. It doesn't take away from the meal. Excuse me. Wow. This is thick. All right, let's help the stomach out a little bit here and get some liquid down because this is very thick. Tropical isotonic. That is ridiculous. How smooth it is. And the tropical smell. Wow. That's amazing. That would be really good warm and even ridiculously cold. So much better. You could have this either way. Oh, wow. This is filling. All right, let's take a look at this chocolate bar. This chocolate bar looks really, really good. And it's interesting because it actually looks like it's molded continuously and then just chopped and broken because the ends are broken. Let's give it a snap. Wow. This is high quality chocolate. Let's give it a try. Very, very high quality chocolate. A very firm bite. When you get it broken up and it starts mixing, you do get a very bitter start to it, but then it really mellows out and the chocolate flavor is very intense. It's not intense like bitter dark chocolate. It smooths out as it mixes in your mouth, and it really does kind of have like a sweet finish. It's not sweet whatsoever, but it has a sweet finish to it. Great chocolate. Coffee. I'm sure that coffee and that chocolate would be a home run together. Okay. coffee is very strong, even for 6 ounces, very strong. Only thing, it's not bitter, and it has a very nice finish, if that makes any sense. Very nice aroma of roasted beans, very pronounced coffee flavor. It's very bold, very strong, but it's not overly bitter, and it has a really smooth finish, and there's no aftertaste. All right, let's get another bite of this with Tabasco. That really does make it pop. I'm not going to dump it over the whole meal. I have a tendency to be a little heavy-handed with the Tabasco, and then the whole thing is just hot. So, yeah, that really, really goes well with the Tabasco. I was curious about bringing down the green chili Tabasco and trying that because I'm a fan of the green chili one. Those chilies, the mild heat, the sweetness of the Tabasco, sometimes it really makes a meal pop, but I wanted to go back to this one because I figured it would go better with the beans. All right, I'm starting to hit a wall with this. So before we really max out, let's try this banana split protein bar. And it's a shame because what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up putting this in the freezer just to kind of re-solidify the chocolate. But I'm going to, wow, look at that. It's like a soft protein bar coated in chocolate. And I'm guessing that protein bar is going to be banana flavored, followed by the chocolate. Let's give that a try. That literally took me like 2 minutes to chew. Such a unique texture. The center of that bar has the texture of firm clay. And when you're chewing on it, that's exactly what it feels like. Firm clay. It just splits in your mouth. Then you get hit with the overwhelming but very ultra high quality banana flavor. We've all had banana candy, and you could really tell that cheap banana flavoring. That's not that. Very high quality banana flavoring with the undertone of nuts, kind of like walnuts and other exotic nuts, not peanuts. Walnuts, maybe almonds. There might be some almond oil in there. And then you start getting notes of cream, like whipped cream, and then you get the chocolate finish. So, for the giveaway, we're going to do it just like we did the last giveaway. It's going to be like, subscribe, comment. You got to put something in the comment section. But instead of like the last giveaway, we ran it for 7 days. We're going to run this for 14 days. At the end of 2 weeks from this video posting, 2 weeks, probably 13 days, 13 to 14, but I'll get the specifics exactly on the dates when the comment section will close. Someone will be picked randomly through the comment picker like I did in the last video. I will post a first, second, and third place winner. I really don't know if I have enough to give first, second, and third place prizes. I might, as a viewer appreciation for hitting 2,000 subscribers. You know what? I will. The hell with it. We'll find something unique and we'll give them out. In the last video giveaway, the main ration was, the Canadian IMP. That's right. Menu 11, chicken stew. That was the main ration. For the second place, I threw a bunch of extras in there: drinks, First Strike energy bars, little accessory packets with Tabasco sauce in it, and coffee, Bill's Brew, creamer. I think I threw some bagels in there with the jalapeno cheese spread. The second prize winner, I believe, got I could be mistaken, but I know I gave away a C-Car beef stew with a bunch of sides. And then I gave also a meal cold weather with a bunch of sides. So we'll do something like that. I'll definitely hook the viewers up, first, second, and third. If I don't hear from the first place winner, I'm sure they'll call back. They'll leave an email. We'll leave all the details in the last meal, which is going to be supper. But yeah, this is going to be well over an hour video because we're already 27 minutes in and we've still got another meal to go through. So I'm going to put this in the freezer to let it set up hard again. I want to enjoy it cold, probably just like how it should have been. I didn't realize that this was chocolate coated. I put it over the steam as I was boiling this to kind of soften it up, and boy did I soften it up. Coffee was outstanding as always. The European, especially the Swedish, they don't mess around with their coffee. The isotonic drink, bananas, literally. Like, wow. You can see they're not spending, they're not worried about cost on these meals. This Out Meals protein bar, banana split, absolutely ridiculous high quality. The chocolate, I don't even need to say anymore. European chocolate, they're not messing around. And this, wow. I'm going to finish this gum later. Maybe if we get to the last meal, we'll actually have a gum to show you. Matter of fact, let me open it right now so you can actually see what we're looking at here. 2 little pieces. Well, they're not so little. 2 pieces. They got really a light candy shell. Super high quality gum base. I literally chewed these for 2 hours the other day. Ultra high quality. Throughout the whole meal, I am so impressed. If you are going to buy one ration to really enjoy, look at Swedish wet rations. I guarantee you they're worth the money. They will not disappoint. And on a side note, I was so impressed with these meals that I actually started looking to buy these components and kind of make up my own. And they do sell them. You go to Expedition websites and you should see the listing of every single side, every single drink, every single protein bar. This is literally Expedition food. That's how high quality it is. Don't think of this as MRE, because this is not. This is like field Expedition food. Enough about me ranting. I will see you on the last meal, and I'll give you all the details and dates about the giveaway. Thank you, and I'll see you. Take care. All right, and we are finally back to our last meal, supper, out of this Swedish wet menu number 3. This menu was unbelievable. 4 meals, over 4,600 calories. This is what's going to be given away in the giveaway. So, before we start setting up this meal, let's talk about the giveaway. You have to like, subscribe, and comment. The winner is going to get picked through the comments section randomly by a program. The video would be posted May 20th, and it's going to run for 2 weeks. June 3rd at 6 p.m., I'm going to close down the comments section. I will use the comment picker to pick a comment, and that person will be posted in the winning video, which will be posted the following day, and then they will contact me to receive their prize. We will be giving smaller prizes for the second and third place. So when you see that you are possibly a winner in the second and third place, follow the video. I'll put my email address for the giveaway on the video. Follow the instructions, contact me. I'll get your personal information and we will ship out the prizes. And this is all for reaching the 2,000 subscribers appreciation giveaway. So without any further ado, let's get through this meal. I'm making the coffee right now. And while this water is piping hot, let's get our main meal set up. We're having coffee. We're having looks like a mint hazelnut spread on an Orifaux cheese biscuit, 50 grams. We're having an Outmeals salty caramel energy bar, 55 grams, and an Outmeals instant noodle Alfredo flavor, 95 grams. This exact meal that I reviewed in breakfast, lunch, dinner, and supper is going to be exactly what you receive. So let's get into this before this water cools down. Now this meal says to, wow, that smells really good. This meal says to put 300 milliliters of water in. So I'm not sure if we want to put all of that in there. I left a little bit out. It says close it up and let it hydrate for 5 minutes. So just like in our other MRE series, anytime we're dealing with dehydrated food like meal cold weathers, you want to kind of go conservatively on your water because you can never take it out once it's in. So I put about 280 mils in there. We're going to close that up and let's get to our other items. And those biscuits look absolutely great. And we got one broken one here, which we're going to give that a try right now. Really good biscuits. And I must say they really do have a pleasant cheese undertone. Okay, it looks like we have some oats and shaved nuts on the bottom, and on the top it's just a regular bar. And wow, that really does smell good. Very nice smell of coconuts and caramel. All right, and our nut cream. I should have put this in some water to really soften it up, but it's really warming up now. All right, that did the trick. It's got a nice little tear notch here in the corner. And we're going to put some of this on our biscuits because we have nothing else to put it on, so I think this is what it was intended for. Looks like we only have enough for possibly 2. I'm really excited for the viewers. I am going to be so happy when the winner gets this. And hopefully they'll send me some videos or some pictures, because I truly enjoyed this meal. This meal was absolutely ridiculous in the quality, the taste of the food. It really, truly was a pleasure to experience this meal with you guys and gals. So I thank you again. That's why we're giving this away, because the viewers made this possible. The gum is absolutely fantastic. 2 pieces. Don't let it fool you. It is a long-lasting, very high-quality gum. All right. I think we're almost there. Let's see how our coffee's doing. Very, very strong, very bold, but it's very pleasant. It's not bitter whatsoever. And this is exactly what I would expect from the Swedish. All right, let's try one of these biscuit. Yep, it's a hazelnut. Now, they did have a little mint leaf on the package, so I'm really curious that if this actually has any mint in it. It is just a hazelnut spread. Very high quality. And that, excuse me, that really goes well with the coffee. The cheese biscuits are like a whole grain oat biscuit. They're pretty firm, but not too firm. They have a very good oat flavor. And the cheese is like an undertone, very mild. You'll almost miss it with the hazelnut on there, but they are very good. While we're waiting for our noodles to hydrate, let's look at the ingredient list. We have noodles, which are wheat, flour, starch, salt. Sauce is powdered, modified starch, dried mushrooms, soy creamer, maltodextrin, vegetable fat, palm fruit, antioxidants, soy protein, stabilizers, anti-caking agents, vegetable flavors contain soybean, wheat, celery, flour, salt, sugar, thickener, garlic powder. So yeah, that is pretty standard. There's not much preservatives in there. All right, let's see what it's looking like. Wow. And we hit that right on the head. That is perfect. Not too watery. Hydrated nicely. I thought, yeah, if I definitely put all of that in there, that would have been like almost borderline soup. So we're going to close that up. Wow. That is very flavorful. I'm going to close that up. I'm going to put that right there on the side. Get our cheese biscuits crumbs out of here. I don't want them affecting the flavor. And let's check out this bar. And by the way, on the last meal, dinner, I made the mistake of heating up the bar over some steam. Totally melted chocolate. It was a banana split protein bar. Put it in the refrigerator in its original wrapping. When I opened it up about 10 minutes later, all that chocolate set again, and it was ridiculously good. All right, salted caramel energy bar. Something about the Swedish energy bars. They're not like the American. They're nowhere near granola bars. Very, very tasty. So I'm tasting coconut, salted caramel, the shaved nuts, some oats, hint of salt, honey, brown sugar. This is a hit. I would eat these all day and not even think I'm eating something healthy or energy bar like. That really complements the coffee. You get the hints of chocolate, the salt, the oat, the nuts, and then the chocolate just really rounds out all the flavors. The bar, this is room temperature and it has a firm chew to it, but as it starts breaking down, it becomes easier to eat. These are absolutely a pleasure. All right. I'm ready for this. It's been more than 5 minutes. This is looking really fantastic. Let's move our coffee right there so we can actually get a really good shot of this coming out. Yep. There's some little remnants in there, and I want them all. I'm not throwing any of this away. Nice and creamy. Has a really pleasant smell. I smell mushrooms. Look at that. The noodle, wow. I just got hit a whiff of the noodles. When you think of Alfredo, you think of the cream sauce. And this has an overwhelming smell of gravy, brown gravy. And when I see the mushrooms, I mean, I'm not disappointed whatsoever, but I was thinking of a white cream sauce and noodles. I'm getting a hint of like the ramen, you know, that ramen noodle smell from the noodles. If you ever smelt the noodle before you boiled it, that's what hits you. And then I'm getting like a meat-based gravy smell, almost like a biscuit gravy. And then I see the mushrooms. So trust me, I am not disappointed whatsoever. And this is a pretty large serving. Enough of me yapping. Let's try this out. Wow. Savory looking at best. And I could already see spices, mushrooms. Oh yeah, that is definitely hitting the spot. And it's exactly like I described. It's like a ramen noodle texture. They're perfectly hydrated. They don't have that chew that sometimes you get from dehydrated meals. The water content is perfect. For whoever's going to get this meal, I would probably start off with maybe 250, 280 mils of water. And with these meals, freeze-dried, you gotta be precise. Weigh it on a scale. Most scales have milliliters. Weigh it out. That's what I did. I put 305 in the cup, and you could see we still got a good amount of water in here. I did the coffee about 6 ounces, and yeah, if I would have put all of that in there, this would be like soup. So when you're hydrating dehydrated meals, you want to always go a little bit under. You could always add water in it. If you see it's like pasty, you can always add a little more water into it, stir it up, close it. The warm water, when you re-add it, will bring the temperature of the meal up. And in Arctic environments, that's what they actually tell you to do. They tell you to add possibly half to 3/4 of it in, wait 10 minutes, pour a little more in, and it will actually reheat the meal. So by the time you wait 10-15 minutes for your meal to heat up, it's not cold already. Yeah, that's almost like I don't know where they're getting Alfredo from, but this is almost like a sausage gravy, a meat-based sausage gravy with ramen noodles. I see celery, I see parsley, very fine pieces. They're not large, but you can see them like little speckles throughout the meal. And that is perfectly hydrated. If I was in a tent after a long day of being in the frigid temperatures, this would definitely warm you back up. And there's no spots that didn't hydrate. That was more than enough water to hydrate this up. And don't get me wrong, if you're hydrating your meal up and it becomes watery, and you're actually operating, camping, whatever, in a cold environment, you can actually use the extra water. Dehydrate twice as fast in Arctic environments. Wow, I'm almost sad to see that this is our last meal. This was really tough to get through. I was not able to film this in one day. I actually had to break this up into 2 days of filming because this was massive, 4 meals. And I actually broke down all the packaging off camera, tallied up all the calories, and they're right on the money. Each meal is averaging, give or take, if you move a component from one meal to the other, they're averaging 1,150 calories. And I am absolutely loving this weird behemoth of a spoon. I mean, look at that. With ease, it picked up that huge portion of food. Nothing's dripping. Okay, so I'm already starting to get full, and I still have a half of a protein bar, 3 biscuits, and this, plus the coffee. So we're just going to slide this out of frame for a moment and showcase the meal that we're going to be giving away. Remember, like I said, like, subscribe, comment. The comment sections are going to be open for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we're going to close that comment section down. That night, I will pick a winner, film everything into its own giveaway video. I will put all the information up on the screen, how you need to contact me. And then I will wait. I will post a video, then wait to hear from the winners. And like I said before, we will be giving away 2nd and 3rd place prizes for viewer appreciation. Thank you again for making this channel grow. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Good luck, everyone. Take care.